What do you know? Another video. Welcome to another Red Ink Corner. I don't know if I failed to say this in my last video, but happy Black History Month. We're in the middle of Black History Month. Black History Month stemmed from Black History Week, which was established by Carter Woodson, who was trying to shed light on the history of African Americans in the era of the New Negro, because of the post-Civil War, there was quote unquote positive change in the racial climate in the 1920s. In 1924, Carter Woodson started to communicate or publicize Negro History and Literature Week that eventually became Black History Week in 1926. And then years and years and years later, it became Black History Month in February. If you want to know more about that, just look it up, because that's what I did. I just looked it up. But anyway.
Ooh la la.
Let me try out this light. Let me see if this light is a little better, because it's dark. You know, we're talking about Black history. So we celebrate Black history as a remembrance of our past and is essentially a way for America to pay homage to its roots. I have been in the workforce since 2010, and as a government contractor, I skip around a lot. I skip around to different organizations and different federal groups, so I've seen Black History Month be celebrated in different ways. And this video is specifically geared to all of my HR folks out there and all of senior leadership out there in these different organizations. These are how you should not celebrate Black History Month in the workplace. But before we get into the video, you know what I'm going to say right here. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I know that you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel because I still only have 94 people subscribed. I do not understand why I only have 94. So if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscription button. Hit that like button if you want to see more videos like this one. If you have suggestions or recommendations on another video that you would like to see, go ahead and drop that recommendation below. Number 1, do not do a potluck. Don't do a potluck. Please don't do a potluck. Actually, I don't think that in this COVID time, potlucks are a thing, and I'm hoping that they are forever banned in the workplace. But especially during cultural events like Asian Pacific Month or Spanish Heritage Month, do not do a potluck. I worked at this one location and they did a potluck for Black History Month, and they sent out a suggestive list. And on the suggestive list was fried chicken, watermelon, black-eyed peas. No, don't do that. You're stereotyping, and that could be an HR violation. I'm calling HR violation on HR because don't do that. It's just bad. We don't want it. Just don't embarrass yourself, please. Please don't do it. Number 2, if you're going to issue out facts, make sure you fact check before you send it out. I will never forget this fact that this one company that I work for sent out on a Friday. They were talking about 3 historically Black all-women's college. I went to an all-women's college, so I feel like I know like a little bit more than the average person about all women's colleges. And I know that there's only 2 historically Black all women's colleges, Spelman and Bennett College. This history fact is talking about these 3 schools, and I'm like, there's not 3 historically Black all women's colleges. And of course I Google it and there's only 2. So please fact check before you send something out to your team or to the entire organization, because all that tells me is that you just Google something and you copy and pasted it and put this in his email. You don't care. Don't do something for us if you don't really care for real. Don't think that you're educating people and you're sending out the wrong information. The third one, I talked about this a little bit in a previous Red Ink Corner where I talk about being Black in the workforce. We do not want to be the token, so don't ask us. If we do not volunteer to do something for the organization for Black History Month, do not ask us. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Just because we're Black doesn't mean that we want to answer heritage questions or history questions or put on an event so that you can know more about our history and why we do what it is that we do. We don't want to do that on top of our everyday job unless I volunteer. If I volunteer, it's something completely different. But if I'm not volunteering, don't ask. Don't ask. And maybe I shouldn't speak for everybody. I'm going to speak for myself. Don't. That has happened to me. I talked about it in 2 previous, I think, Red Ink Corners. It's not fun, okay? It's not. And this last one actually came from Stefan. This particular one has not happened to me, at least that I can think of, but this is a Stefan recommendation. Don't plan something last minute for Black History Month. We can tell if you plan it last minute. Like, don't just, I feel like that goes with number 2, like putting out things and not fact checking it. Don't plan like happy hour or potluck or any of that stuff super last minute because you want to acknowledge the minority on your staff. Just don't do it. Skip right on over it. I would rather you not say a thing than to put on something half-assed because you just remembered on January 29th that February 1st is around the corner and you have to do something for your Black staff. Don't do that. Don't do that. So usually when I come to y'all with a list of don't do's, I have a matched list of do's. I don't have the energy for that. I take that back. I have a little bit of energy. My recommendation is to get you a diversity and inclusion person, whether that be a outside consultant or you hire somebody full term, and one of their jobs or one of their duties specifically can be focused on Black History Month education for your staff, for your organization, for the workforce at large. Other than that, I really don't have a recommendation for you because I personally am tired of celebrating Black History Month at work. Don't sound bite me. I'm probably not popular enough for y'all to like chop up my sentences. I'm tired of celebrating Black History Month at work. I'm not tired of Black History Month. It's just in the work setting, it just gets very tiring. And when I say to hire an outside consultant, Red Ink can put together a whole program for you in the event that, you're looking for something like this. I can put it on a program. I can set up a weekly communication chain to your staff, next year, February. Not this year, because we're about done now and you don't want to plan anything last minute. So if you would like something like that, go ahead and contact me at my email below. I'm not too tired for that. I get paid for that. I'm not too tired for that. Thank you again for clicking on this video. If you have made it to the end and you still haven't subscribed, I'm really not understanding at this point. I'm not understanding. So subscribe. I will see you guys next week.